Hi, my name is Rick. I'm coming to you from Boquete, Panama. Our little farm is called Finca Casanga, and I have a helper today, Java. Java the duck. Java's not as helpful as I'd like, and he wants to go on his own right now. So go do work. We got Java. Actually, we have a lot of ducks. We have almost 40 ducks right now because ducks are sneaky and they hide their eggs. But Java didn't have a very good mom, and so we adopted Java, and Java is now the mascot. So we'll see Java throughout all of this adventures. Uh, I'm going to tell you a little bit about us and why we're here and how we got here. So I come from Oregon in the U.S., Salem, Oregon. I spent most of my life there. And I was a firefighter and a paramedic in that area for a number of years. And that's a great job. It really is. I loved it. But it's a little tough on your body. And we decided at one point that we should be doing something different. And we came down to visit Boquete, and we fell in love. So since we didn't speak any Spanish, and didn't know anything about agriculture, and didn't know anything about coffee, we bought a coffee farm in a Spanish-speaking country and decided to be coffee farmers. So we moved down here. We brought our younger son. The older son was joining the military, and we brought our younger son, who was 11 at the time. And we moved down here, sold our house, quit our jobs, came down here to try and figure out how to make a living down here. We're not your typical retirees in this part of Panama. We're down here to try and eke out some kind of living. And so we came down here and started learning about Panama and learning how to grow and make coffee. And when we got here, there were coffee trees, but there really wasn't a facility to produce coffee. It was really just a farm that grows coffee and sells it to factories. We decided we would not be able to support ourselves doing that. And so we started this adventure of being probably the smallest coffee producer in Panama that does everything on site. Turns out this is a lot of work, but we really enjoy doing it. And so one of the things we started doing early on was leasing coffee trees out. If you ever come to visit us, which I think you should, you'll see coffee trees with signs in front of them. And those trees belong to other people. They belong to somebody for one season. And they get to share in the adventure of growing and producing coffee. They get pictures and emails. They get to make some decisions about how this is all done, and then they get their coffee at the end. And it's a lot of fun, but it is kind of a lot of work because we promised them they would get their coffee. Anyway, that was the first thing we started doing. That was the first thing that started to do well for us, and we do that for up to a couple hundred people a year. It is kind of a lot of work. But we also are a production farm. We grow coffee and we pick it and process it and dry it and we roast it here, and we do all of that here on site. And so the goal of all of this is, I guess, to take you guys through our adventures, to share what we've learned with coffee so far and how we produce coffee. But also to share really kind of the lifestyle of people moving to a new land who don't understand how things work and are trying to make things happen in a different culture with different resources and different restrictions. And so a lot of the things we talk about are going to be coffee, but a lot of it's going to be other things in life. If we need to make something in the water system work correctly, I may very well show that, and you might see how we do it here, which is not necessarily the right or wrong way, but there's some limitations in doing these things in Panama. So we moved down here, started to figure things out. We decided we should get a dog. I promised my wife we could have a dog, and then she picked out 2 dogs. So there's actually 2 dogs here. We have Karma and Dante, and they are as much part of the family as anybody else, including the ducks. But early on, it was just my wife and I and our son and a couple dogs tromping through this, trying to figure out how things work here. And given some time, we'll go through all of these things and show you how we make coffee here. So I'm excited to start this adventure with you guys, and I hope people follow and watch along, and I hope you learn a little bit, and I hope you have some fun. Thanks for coming.